hanging out before the races. Sitting down here at Canandaigua with Danny Kerrick. He pits right over here, actually right by the Turn 4 grandstand. Of course, if the last name sounds familiar, you're going, Kerrick, why do I know that? His dad was in the sprint car world, Bubby Kerrick. So how you doing, man? Let's see, 9th in the points. You got a one top 5. You missed some races, but it looked to me like you're doing pretty well. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I still got to get a little more comfortable in the car, trust it a little more, watch the other guys driving a little deeper, stuff like that.
Okay, so that's just one of those things that comes kind of in time, right?
Yep.
Okay. What kind of advice has your dad been giving you? Because growing up around this, I'm sure was this what you always wanted to do?
Oh, yeah, ever since I've been little. I mean, it's been my dream to just go out and drive around once at least. But the advice that he's kind of given me is just go out and drive it. Don't be scared. Don't be intimidated by everyone else by you. Just in hot laps, get away from everyone so you can get your best time. Don't get bunched up next to someone.
Yeah, don't race in hot laps, right?
No.
Yeah.
You're out there to get your best time, to see where your car is, not to see how fast, not to pass someone, so.
It's good advice, because I've seen too many people go out in hot laps. They start racing, there's contact, now you got damage and you haven't even turned a lap for real yet.
Yeah.
So, But I would imagine it was very intimidating because, you're racing hobby stocks and the casual fan might go, oh, it's just a hobby stock. But come on, there are some experienced guys out here.
Oh, yeah,
there had to be moments earlier where you're out there in hot laps in the heat and just going, how are these guys so fast?
Oh, yeah. The beginning of the year, I've had like Wayne Ellison, Mark Manutlo go right by me, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I don't get it, and I come in all mad and stuff. My dad's like, you're fine. It's your first full season. Just calm down. You'll be fine. Just go from here.
Okay. Well, what do you know now as we sit here a week before Labor Day? What do you know now that you didn't know back in April?
Just that you could put a lot more trust in the car than you think.
Okay.
You can believe in it a lot more, if you got the right equipment underneath you and everything.
So even though you think it might not stick.
Yeah, if I think it might not stick, you might as well just try it and see what it does,
Okay. Have you had that moment where you pushed it too hard and went, oh, no?
Oh, yeah, I've had that. Right at the beginning of the season, actually, in my heat, I was coming out of the corner, and I was on the bottom, everyone was on the top, and I started getting loose, and I bunched up Tyler Burnell and someone else, and I got on the top, and I was fine, but, just little stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it really does tick me off when I do it, but then I got to calm down and be like, okay, I'm fine, just keep going.
Okay, so at least now if you do go a little too far, it's not the end of the world,
no.
Depending on the situation, of course. But what was it like when you were on fire that time? Because I saw that picture. That was a darn cool picture. An expensive picture, but a cool picture nonetheless, right?
So I didn't really know. I saw a little glare to the left of me because there's a little hole that I saw, and I saw a glare, but I couldn't tell what it was. I was looking to the right the whole time because my car's spinning out.
Right.
So I'm looking like this all the way to the right. So I wasn't really thinking of that. I was more thinking like I got to save the car so I can keep going. And then the fire crew came over and told me I was on fire, and I'm like,
no, it wasn't?
Yeah, so I started rushing to get my stuff off, and they're like, no, it's out now. It was just the oil that caught on fire.
Yeah, it was only a quick, maybe 2 seconds.
It was just
something.
the oil that came out of the engine and just quick fire and done.
You have that picture?
Yeah, I do.
Is it up somewhere you can see it and everything?
And I got it on my phone somewhere, but other than that, that's it.
Yeah, because the photographer caught it at exactly the perfect moment.
Oh, yeah, he did.
It's lit up underneath. It's as orange as it could get. And have your friends that don't come to the races? Have you shown that to any of them?
Oh yeah, I've shown them, because they know like I put a new motor in, or because I got a new motor, so they're like, oh, what happened to your old one? And I'm like, oh, this happened.
Here, let me show you what happened to my old one.
Show it, and they're like, oh, what happened? And I explain it to them and stuff, and some guys get it and some guys don't.
Well, probably some that go, well, how come you didn't get burned, right?
Oh, yeah, so some guys are, and I'm like, well, it was just the oil that caught on fire, plus I got a helmet, a whole suit on. I got all the protective stuff if something bad does really happen.
Yeah, if it had gotten in there, but good job, obviously, with the firewall and everything else. Otherwise, you would have been having some flames licking your suit.
The whole firewall, that's all my dad. My dad's built a lot of this car. This is pretty much 100% of his. We've had...
Really?
Oh, yeah, we've had sponsors, like Mark Spores helped us. Jimmy Grant's helped us with, like parts and stuff like that. If we need anything, he'll come over and help us. There's other people that have helped us, but it's really been my dad. This is 100% his. This isn't mine. I'm just a driver.
Did you play sports when you grew up?
Yeah, that's why last year I didn't start the season off last year. That's why we took our time and stuff. We didn't come till the end of the season.
Okay.
Because my dad said, because we were playing football in the spring because of the whole COVID thing my
Oh,
senior
right.
year. So he's like, we're just gonna take our time. You play
no
football.
rush. You can race the rest of your life.
Exactly. He's like, you come home, get something to eat, and go to sleep. Do your homework. We don't gotta be focused on the car. And I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yes. He's like,
What a nice way to come into it.
Oh yeah.
You
Which
know?
I mean, I'm really happy it was like that. We didn't have to rush around because, I mean, I only got to play football until I was a senior, and then I was done. So I mean.
Okay. Because where I was going with this was you were talking about the help you're getting from your competitors.
Oh yeah.
You don't get that in football. If I know you got a bad left knee or something, I'm gonna eat you up all
usually.
day. Yeah.
I mean, like when we were in football, I mean, there'd be a little kid that I knock on the ground, and they'd come in for 30 seconds at the end of the game or whatever, and I'd help them, like, you gotta do this, this, and that. But,
Like in Blindside, right?
yeah, but other than this, I mean, if there was a big kid up against me the first play of the game, I'm not gonna give him advice. What's the point? I want to
No.
win.
After you're up 63-0, you might give him some
Yeah,
advice, but
exactly.
that's about it at that point, right?
Yeah.
Just say, I'm sorry, we kicked the crap out of you today.
Yeah.
So good spending some time with you, man. Nice
Spend
job.
time with
And
you.
please say hi to Dad for me, and
I will.
maybe we'll see you have a nice, strong run here before
I
we hit
hope
Labor
so.
Day, okay?
Yep.
Thanks, Daddy. Appreciate it, man.